Hey everyone, welcome back. We are continuing to learn Russian with Learn Russian, or trying to anyway. So, I, I, I haven't made some videos for a while because I didn't really feel quite ready to start taking on these verbs of motion. Lesson 31 was already kind of, it was a little difficult, and that was just the beginning. Now we get into these prefixes, and you can see these next four lessons are all about prefixes that are used, and not only the next four lessons, but after that we have um, another four. So actually, the next 8 lessons are all about various prefixes that are used with verbs of motion. And I didn't quite feel ready to take them on. Actually, I still am. I don't think I'm quite ready for it, but I guess I'm probably as ready as I'll ever be. So I probably should just stop procrastinating and just get on it and just make a video. So I'll try to I'll try. I'll do what I can, folks. So we're going to do lesson 32 in this video, but just before I start, I'm going to quickly give an overview of the various prefixes that we see here. So you can see in this lesson we're just going to do the prefix pa, and pa, as I understand it, is kind of the dual or the opposite of the prefix pri. So pa basically emphasizes, as I understand it, the way that I saw it explained was on another source. Pa basically emphasizes the beginning of movement. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not talking about you going anywhere. It's just basically saying you left. So if you are not saying I went somewhere or I traveled somewhere, you're just saying I left for starting my journey, then you would say pa and then a verb. So the prefix pa basically means that you left, you started your travel. And then pri is the opposite. Pri basically emphasizes arrival, saying that you arrived at your destination and thus stopped your motion. Other prefixes here. So the and the are, you may already have some idea of these because the Russian word for entrance is vhod, and the Russian word for exit is vychod. So these two are fairly straightforward. They're fairly apparent. The prefix the means to go into something or inside something, like typically a building or a room or something like that. And then vy is the opposite, to go out, to go out, come out of a building or room or car or train or whatever. So these two are fairly straightforward and clear. I think the next lesson should be fairly apparent in that regard. But pri and u are a little trickier. So like I said, pri is, as I understand it, it's the opposite of pa. So pa marks the beginning of travel, beginning of motion, and pri marks the end of motion by arriving at where you were going. And u means basically just to leave. So pa also means leave, but pa means leave in the sense of beginning a travel, like you're beginning a trip in which you're going somewhere. Whereas u simply emphasizes that you left, you're gone. So it's not talking about the beginning of motion so much as it's just emphasizing that somebody went away, somebody left wherever they were. And then the prefix pod has, as I understand it, 2 meanings. It means to go upward, and it also means to approach something or someone, to approach. And then ot basically means just to move away from. So if you're moving, if you're 10 meters or 10 feet away from someone and you move farther away from them, then you'd say, okay, ot, you're moving farther away from someone or something. So yeah, we have 3 things which kind of emphasize leaving, and it's important to understand the differences between these 3 prefixes that mean to leave. Pa emphasizes the beginning of a trip or the beginning of a movement from point A to point B. U is not so much about beginning your trip, it's just about your leaving. You're saying, I'm gone, I'm out of here. Okay, then you use a verb that starts with u. And then ot also means to leave, but it specifically means to move away from, to make a motion that places you physically more distant from a particular physical point or person or thing. So I hope that that helps somewhat. Obviously, we'll expand upon these more as we go into the individual lessons, but for now, let's just go ahead and get started. We're doing lesson 32, speaking about the beginning of motion. Yeah, see, this is about beginning of motion. So ba emphasizes that verbs which start with ba are indicating the beginning of a movement from, like I said, from point A to point B. So, летом мы поедем на дачу. So, летом, in summer, мы поедем, we leave, we start, we take off, на дачу, for the dacha. Dacha being, again, a small summer house common in Russia. So, when you say мы поедем на дачу, that does not necessarily mean that you go to your dacha. Hopefully you arrive safely at your destination. Hopefully, I mean, you would assume and hope that you get safely to the dacha that you're heading towards. But this does not mean that you go to the dacha. This basically means that you leave for the dacha. You begin your trip to the dacha. So it's saying in summer, it's not specifically saying, it's not exactly saying in summer we go to the dacha. It's saying in summer we leave for the dacha, or we leave to go to the dacha. So again, emphasizing the beginning of that motion, beginning of that movement. So, and here we have two sentences, which I'm not going to focus on now. You can read them and analyze them as you wish, but we'll get to that later. First, let's start off with a dialogue. As always, we have a dialogue at the beginning between Alexei, which is probably this guy on the left, and Ksenia, which is probably this woman on the right. Let's see what they have to say. This one's actually fairly short, so it should be pretty simple.
Что делаешь в выходные?
Не знаю. Хочу пойти в музей.
В какой?
В исторический музей. Я читала, что там сейчас интересная выставка. А что?
Я хотел поехать за город, покататься на лыжах. Давай со мной.
Не знаю. А ты во сколько поедешь?
Утром в субботу, часов в 11.
Наверное, я не поеду с тобой. Это очень рано для меня.
Хорошо, но если захочешь поехать, позвони мне.
Ладно.
Okay, so pretty short, in my opinion, relatively short dialogue. We have, looks like 5 blanks here. Yeah, 5 blanks. And notice that all the 5 words that we have to fill in are verbs of motion that begin with ba. So let's listen again and fill in the words as we go.
Что делаешь в выходные?
So Alexei is asking, что делаешь, what are you doing в выходные, on the weekend?
Не знаю. Хочу пойти в музей.
Aha. So she said пойти. It might be a little hard to hear. I know Russian pronunciation is sometimes not quite intuitive, but she said пойти. So, не знаю, I don't know. Хочу пойти в музей. I want to пойти в музей. Now, again, this is emphasized in the beginning of motion. I know it might be a little bit confusing for English speakers because in English you more typically don't emphasize beginning or ending of travel this way. But you sometimes do. You know, if you're going on a vacation, let's say tomorrow you're going on a huge vacation and you're flying all the way to the other side of the world. Maybe you're flying to Australia, or if you live in Australia, then you're flying to Europe or America or whatever. So typically then you wouldn't say, I mean, you might not say tomorrow I'm going to my destination. You might say tomorrow I'm leaving for the destination, because the trip might take so long. The trip might take more than one day. I mean, an overseas flight like that could easily take, especially with time zone differences and things like that, that could easily take more than one day by the time you land there. So you're not necessarily saying that I'm going there tomorrow, but I'm leaving for wherever I'm going tomorrow. And so that's kind of what this is. So she's saying, yeah, if you're talking about going to a museum, though, I don't know if you'd really say it like that. Would you say paiti? I mean, I'm not a native Russian speaker, so in this context, it seems a little bit strange to emphasize the act of leaving for the museum. It can also mean. Let me finish the dialogue and then I'll come back to this. But basically she's saying, I want to, пойти, I want to go. You can say I want to go to the museum, even though this word пойти is more emphasizing the act of leaving for the museum and not specifically getting to the museum.
В какой?
В какой? So into which one? He's saying in which museum?
В исторический музей.
Into the historical museum.
Я читала, что там сейчас интересная выставка.
So I read that they're now interesting exhibition. So I read that there's an interesting exhibition there now.
А что?
А что? Literally, and what? So, like, why do you ask?
Я хотел поехать за город, покататься на лыжах. Давай...
Okay, hold on. So he said, я хотел, I wanted to поехать. I wanted to поехать за город. За город means, it literally means behind the city, but in Russian, saying за город means like outside of the city. So I wanted, areas outside of the city are kind of called behind the city, as if the city was like a huge piece of scenery, and once you go behind the scenery, then there's this whole other world that opens up to you. So yeah, за город means like either into the suburbs or just out of the city altogether. So I want to go out of the city, покататься на лыжах. I wanted to go skiing.
Давай со мной.
Давай со мной. Come with me. Like, do you want to come with me?
Не знаю. А ты во сколько поедешь?
Ты во сколько поедешь? Не знаю. So she says again, I don't know. Ты во сколько поедешь? And you, how much will go? She means how long will you be gone? He means how long will you be gone, but it's kind of, literally it's kind of like, yeah, во сколько. Okay, I guess во сколько is like, yeah, how long? So how long will you be gone?
Утром в субботу, часов в 11.
Okay, утром в субботу. So morning in Saturday, meaning Saturday morning. Часов в 11, so at 11 o'clock.
Наверное, я не поеду с тобой. Это очень рано для меня.
Наверное, I think я не поеду с тобой. I think I won't go with you. It's very early for me.
Хорошо, но если захочешь поехать, позвони мне.
Okay, but if you want to go, call me.
Ладно.
Okay. So yeah, all of these are basically just emphasizing, yeah, because they're talking about when they're going to leave. So the one for the museum strikes me as an English speaker, the one for the museum strikes me as a bit funny, because you would, if you're saying on the weekend I'm going to the museum, you wouldn't necessarily say, well, I'm leaving for the museum. It's not that huge of a journey. I mean, presumably the museum is in the same city where they are. So at least in English, you wouldn't use a usage like that. But the rest makes sense, because the rest is about them going on what would probably be a longer trip. The rest of this is about them going, not just to a place in the city where they live, which is probably Moscow, but they're going out of town. So he's talking about, like, see, she asks, oh, I see. So she's actually, yeah. So this is not actually saying how long will you be gone, but when will you be gone? At what time will you leave? And then he says Saturday morning at 11. Okay, so that's the point here. So the point of asking here about поедешь is not, she's not asking about how long the trip is. She's not asking about when he's getting there. She's specifically saying, when do you leave? When do you start this journey? And so, because she's not that interested right now in how long it takes, She's not that interested in when they're going to get there. She just wants to know when he leaves, because if she goes with him, she would have to be there at that point in time to leave with him. So here's where it really makes sense for поедешь to mean specifically when does your travel start? When is the start of your journey that you're taking? So that's where you'd use something like ba in a verb of motion. You're really emphasizing, yeah, that's the point at which you take off. That's the point at which you leave and start the travel. Okay, and here's a second dialogue where we can probably hear more of this. Yes, again, so we have 5 blanks, and they're all verbs of motion with ba at the beginning. So let's see what looks like. We have Eric on the left and Rita on the right. Both of these not, unless I'm terribly mistaken, they don't strike me as Russian names, so these might be not Russian people, but not that that matters. But anyway, let's hear what they have to say.
Привет, а где все?
Ребята пошли на каток.
Да? Ну ладно, тогда я пошел.
А ты куда хочешь пойти?
Я пойду в боулинг.
А с кем?
Сейчас позвоню сестре и ее мужу. Думаю, что они с удовольствием пойдут. Мы часто ходим вместе туда.
А можно я пойду с вами?
Конечно.
Boy, they talk fast. These people are speaking quickly now, which I guess is more like how native Russian speakers would speak in a real-world setting. So, Eric says,
Привет, а где все?
hi, and where is everyone? Or, hi, where is everyone?
Ребята пошли на каток.
Okay, пошли. So, ребята, the people, пошли на каток. They пошли to the skating rink. Каток is, I believe, skating rink. And again, notice she said, here it does make sense that she says пошли, because she's not sure if they got there yet. I mean, how does she know where they are? She doesn't know where they are. She can't know if they got to the skating rink. But her point is that they left for the skating rink. They began, they left to go to the skating rink, and the point is that they've left already. Whether they got there is not relevant. The point is that they left to go to the skating rink. So that's why she says pashli. If it was just shli, then she could be saying they are going to the rink, or well, no, it wouldn't be they're going, because that would still be past tense, but it would be like, shli would be basically, let me just actually, give me a second here. Let me go ahead and pull up Wiktionary here, because I think Wiktionary might be useful in a situation like this, because Wiktionary often has interesting insights that you don't get. So yeah, so pashli is here the plural past indicative perfective. Yeah, so пойти is actually, see here it says PF, that means it's a perfective verb. So imperfective would be idti. I think we learned about idti in the previous lesson, but here paiti is the imperfective. Is the perfective, sorry. Idti is the imperfective, paiti is the perfective. And you might remember perfective and imperfective differ mainly in the sense that, the most obvious difference is imperfective is something that's not finished. It's something that's ongoing. It's something that's being done. Whereas paiti emphasizes that the action is done. They already did it. Whoever did it has already finished it, and that action is done. So she's saying here, not that they're leaving, not that they're going somewhere. She's saying they left. They finished. They finished leaving already. She's making no other statement about whether they got there or not. She's simply saying that they successfully finished the act of leaving to emphasize that they're gone.
Да? Ну ладно, тогда я пошел.
Окей, тогда я пошел. So, да, я. Ну ладно, well, okay. Тогда я пошел. I think this might be a bit. I think this might be a bit kind of slangy. I'm not sure if this is correct or if this is slang because it seems like he's using, hold on, let me just quickly check this word here, bushul, because that sounds to me kind of like, let me see, when we put in bushul here in Wikipedia, what do we, or not Wikipedia, Wiktionary. Yeah, see, it's kind of the past. This says it's the past tense, so I don't think this is quite correct because I think this guy, Eric, is saying that he's leaving. I don't think he's saying that he went. I think he's saying that he's leaving. So I think this might be kind of, I'm not clear on it exactly, but this might be kind of a slang way of saying, yeah, okay, then I'm gone. You know, sometimes in English, if you're leaving, like if you're about to leave, then you might say, I'm gone, meaning not that you're actually gone, but that you're just about to leave. So I'm wondering if this might be the same kind of thing in Russian. I don't know. It sounds that way to me because he can't actually be saying literally that he's gone because he is obviously still here. But anyway, so, okay, so the woman says...
А ты куда хочешь пойти?
Я
So, а ты куда хочешь пойти? So, and you where want go. So where do you want to go?
пойду в боулинг.
Я пойду в bowling. So I'm leaving to go bowling. And again, he's saying пойду. So not emphasizing that he's actually going to get there. Who knows? Maybe he'll get killed along the way. But he's just emphasizing, I'm leaving now to go bowling. I'm starting to go to bowling.
А с кем?
And with whom?
Сейчас позвоню сестре и ее мужу.
Now I will call sister and her husband. So I guess he means his sister. So now I'll call my sister and her husband.
Думаю, что они с удовольствием пойдут. Мы
Okay, so пойдут. So he said, думаю, I think, что они, that they с удовольствием, so с удовольствием means something like gladly, like they would like to go. So he says, I think that they would like to go.
Мы часто ходим вместе туда.
Мы часто ходим вместе туда. So we often go together there.
А можно я пойду с вами?
Конечно.
And she says, а можно я пойду с вами and may I go with you? And he says, конечно, of course. So again, she's asking, can I go there with you in the sense of leaving? Can I leave with you? She's saying, can I leave to go there with you? Not necessarily that people will actually get there successfully or alive or whatever. So here we go. Now we have, some verbs of motion with the prefix pa. So пойти and походить is, to go on foot. You can see, so пойти is again we have the difference between singular direction and multi-directional verbs of motion. So он уже пошел в офис, this is past tense. It's saying he already left to go to the office, not saying that he actually got to the office, simply saying that he began his trip to the office. And then походил is, walked around in the office, so walked, from one place and then returned, or just kind of walked around generally, so that's multi-directional. So that would be походить. But again, whether it's пойти or походить, the point here is that the pa prefix emphasizes the beginning of the motion, emphasizing that they left, they've already started, they've already left on their journey. Same for поехать and поездить. So on поехал, на работу just means that he left for work in his car. The difference between this first pair here and the second pair here is this is for going on foot, walking on foot, and this is for traveling either in a car or a bus or a train or some other wheeled transport. Politit and politat is for airplane, same idea except for flying in an aircraft. And then poplit and poplavat is going over the water, either by swimming or in a boat. I believe the same verb is used for both swimming and for being on a boat. Because I'm on a boat, don't you ever forget. So, here we go. Now we have a, oh, and we can also click on, let me quickly open this up here. So under full, you have a much more full list here of various different verbs. And again, yeah, this is something probably important to note. The prefix pa can be added to all verbs of motion, but the resulting verbs are perfective. So all verbs of motion using pa at the beginning are perfective, not imperfective, and thus they can only be used in either past or future sense or tense. So if something is happening right now, if I'm in the act of doing something, or if anybody's in the act of doing something right at this moment in the present tense, obviously they can't be done. They can't be finished with it if they're still doing it, right? There's no way you can be finished with something if you're still in the act of doing it. So present tense doesn't make sense for perfective verbs. You can't use a perfective verb in the present tense because the whole point of the perfective verb is that it's emphasizing the action is done. It was finished. So you can use it in the past tense to say he finished it, or I finished it, or they finished doing it, or in the future tense to say I will finish it, or he will finish it, or whatever, but not in the present tense. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for something happening right now to be finished. So, past tense, yeah, где Ivan, он пошел. So yeah, again, he left. Он пошел just means that he started to go to the university. Поехал, same thing except for driving. Пошли. Yeah, same idea except on foot again. So he went to the bar. Future tense. Я пойду вечером в театр с сестрой. So this means tonight I will have left. This is kind of, in English it seems like kind of a funny I mean, here it's just translated as I'll leave. So you can say, yeah, I'll leave to go to the theater. So he's saying tonight I'll leave for the theater. Мы поедем, yeah, we will leave for the seaside. Yeah, I mean, you can say we're going to the seaside, obviously. I mean, in English that makes sense as well. But again, this verb is emphasizing the act of leaving to go to the seaside and not just the whole trip. Полетит, yeah, is leaving to fly home. So I'm not going to read all of these. I hope that the point is clear by now. I hope that, I mean, it's not that difficult. It's not that complicated of a concept. It's just something we don't really have in English. And you can see there's a lot, wow, there's actually really a lot of okay, here, this is interesting, actually. So here they're basically telling you the meanings. So they're listing actually here 5 different possible meanings for the use of pa. So if you use pa with verbs from the id group, so paiti, приехать, побежать, this means these are unidirectional verbs. Then it means, yeah, the absolute beginning of motion, direction purpose not specified, the motion comes after, yeah, so it basically just means somebody started moving, beginning of a new stage of motion, or action as intended, as intention, desire, or supposition in the future tense, yeah. And then with verbs from the hadith group, meaning multi-directional verbs of motion, means generally it either lasted a short while or the action is not very significant. So this is actually very good information, and here they have a nice little explanation. Verbs of motion with prefixes of one peculiarity. The present tense requires a verb from the hadith group as the, right, exactly, yeah. So present tense usually, obviously if something's happening in the present tense, it means that something is happening right now. And so, yeah, that is, yeah, that's interesting. This is all good information, but I'm not gonna I'm not going to read all of this right now because this is quite a bit more than I think we really need to digest right now. If you're curious, certainly feel free to read it. I think this is interesting information. This is good reference for later, but I'm not going to read all of this right now. I'll keep this open here though. I think this is a good window to keep open while we're doing this lesson, so I'll just keep that in the background for now. But let's continue here. So we're supposed to study that table and complete sentences with the correct form of the verbs paiti and pachadit. So paiti and pachadit are both walking on foot. So we're not talking about wheeled transport here or planes or boats or whatever else. We're just talking about walking on your own 2 feet. So this should be pretty straightforward, right? Well, probably not actually, but let's see. Let's see what we can do here. So starting off, через неделю. So через неделю means next week or in a week. So this is obviously future. So this should then be paiti. This can't be multi-directional because they're talking about doing it just once. But pachadit would be more like a regular thing, kind of happening on an ongoing basis. But I think this should be paiti because it's happening as a one-time thing. So if you look here, what is the conjugation for мы paiti? So here it looks like it's мы пойдем. For present, that's for present tense. Hold on, do we have... Okay, we don't have future tense here, so I think it looks like here they're gonna, yeah, we're gonna use the yeah, we're gonna use the present tense here for the future tense. I think that will be fine. So мы пойдем в театр. Мы уже купили билеты. We already bought tickets. So, вчера. So, вчера means yesterday, so this is obviously past tense now. Вчера он немного something по парку. So, yesterday he a little bit something по парку, so like around the park. So, not specifically that he went to the park, but more like, walked around the park. So, this is not paiti, this is now pachadit, emphasizing not that he went from point A to point B with a specific journey in mind, but rather he was just kind of lounging around the park, just took a stroll around. Multi-directional verb of motion. So for third person singular, which is on, pachadit, past tense, we have here on pachadil. So let's come here and put in pachadil. Вчера он немного походил по парку. Yesterday he walked around the park a bit. Доктор сказал ему гулять 2 часа в день. Doctor told him walk 2 hours a day. So the doctor told me he should walk 2 hours every day. Алло, это Иван? Hello, is this Ivan? Ivan? Нет, его нет дома. No, he's not at home. On something в магазин. Okay, so he went to the store. He left for the store. So this is a one-time thing. This should then be paiti. And on, so past tense paiti should be on пошел. So let's say on пошел в магазин. He left for the store. Again, not stating that he actually went to this, not stating that he actually arrived at the store, but just stating that he left with the intent of going to the store. Девушка чуть-чуть, so the girl a little bit something, по комнате и начала смотреть телевизор. So this is past tense because nachal is a past tense verb because of the L on the end. So we're looking at something past tense here, and since it sounds like it just happened once, then I'm going to say that this should be paiti. Oh, no, because it's по комнате. So she walked around the room. So the girl, it's Diedushka. For some reason I read Dievushka, which is girl, but no, it's Diedushka. So it's not girl, it's grandfather. Diedushka is grandfather. So grandfather walked po komnatie. So again, he walked around the room. He didn't go to a specific place. He just kind of walked around the room. Maybe he's getting his exercise in the room. I don't know. But okay, he walked around. So again, multi-directional verb of motion. So it would be pochodit. So Diedushka walked past tense pochodit. That should then be on pochodil. So, Dedushka чуть-чуть походил по комнате. Grandfather walked a little bit around the room. И начал смотреть телевизор. And started watching television. So, начал is also like to start doing something. So, he started watching television. Мама, до свидания. Мы something в школу. So, mom or mama, bye, we something in school. So this is something happening right now. So I'm going to assume they're saying paiti, we paiti. So present tense, right? Should be present tense, right? I feel like this should be present tense because this seems like they're saying we're leaving for school now, but my reference appears to indicate that they want you to say poshli as if it's past tense. So they're actually saying, bye mom, we left for school. Not that we're leaving for school, but that we already left. So, okay. Not sure why, but that's what they're saying. So not saying bye mom, we're leaving for school, but bye mom, we left for school. Когда ты something на работу? This could be either when did you leave for work today as a one-time thing, or when do you generally leave for work? So I'm not sure if it's paiti or походить. Let's try to get some context from the next sentence. Не знаю. Думаю, что something через неделю. Don't know. I think that. So they're saying when will you go to work, and then the other person's saying, I don't know. I think I'll go next week. So. Okay. So I guess this is a one-time thing. I don't really understand the context here. Why the guy's saying, or maybe it's a woman, saying maybe I'll go next week. But I guess they're talking about a one-time thing, not saying when do you go to work, but when will you go to work at one specific point in time. So using present tense here as future tense, then it would be ты пойдешь на работу, and then the person answering would similarly say я пойду as a one-time thing. I think I will go once next week, rather than saying I'll go regularly next week. Don't know quite what that's about. I don't know the context here. Maybe the person is sick. I'm going to guess the person is sick or on vacation, and they're asking them, okay, when are you going to go to work? Yeah, I'll go next week. And because that's a one-time thing, they use paiti and not pochodit. They use a singular verb of motion because it's a one-time thing. Okay. Извини, но я не something сегодня в бар. Sorry, but I'm not going to the bar today. У меня болит голова. I have pain ahead. Or pain of the head. I have a headache. So it's just for today. It's сегодня. It's only happening today, not as a regular thing. So it should then be я пойду, right? Я не пойду сегодня в бар because I have a headache. That makes sense to me because it's just a one-time thing. Внуки с бабушкой, so the grandchildren with grandmother something по двору и потом something гулять в сквер. Skvier, that's a funny word. I'm assuming this is like square in English, but usually that's ploshchad in Russian, like red square, for example. That is a ploshchad in Russian, so I don't know why they're using the word skvier here. But, okay. So yeah, we see here, first we see podvoru, so around the garden or around the yard. And then gulyat sounds like they're just strolling around. So they're going to the square, but they're going to walk around the square. So it sounds to me like these are both pochodit. So this is going to be they because it's the grandchildren and grandma. So it's ani. Oh wait, hold on. It's interesting. I just noticed this appears to be past tense. I don't know how you're supposed to know that. I don't see any indication here that this is past tense and not future tense. But looking at my notes here, it looks like these are actually conjugated in the past tense. So, okay, so we're using past tense here. So it's actually ani pochodili. They pochodili podvor. So grandchildren with grandma walked around the yard, and after that, and then it uses poshli. That's interesting. So first they use multi-directional, and then they use single directional. Again, I don't know why. Sorry, excuse me. I'm a little bit ill today. So, yeah, first it says that they walked around the yard, and then I guess it says they walked to the square. Okay, the reason for that is not abundantly clear to me, but that's what this means. Okay, and finally, смотри, с кем это Мартин? And this is again past tense, so this is saying, with whom did Martin go? So this is a one-time thing, so it's on poshol. I don't know how you're supposed to know that it's past tense. I don't see any indication. I guess because it's something that already happened. It's not saying, yeah, you can't really say whom is Martin going to leave with if it's happening in the future. You can't say, hey, look at what's happening now. You're saying, look at whom he left with. Whom did he leave with? So that's the reason why it's past tense. Martin has already left with someone, and the person is saying, hey, whom did he leave with? Okay, here we go. So now, this is just conjugation of verbs. So we have here two verbs. We have поехать, to begin travel by car, and поездить. Both of these mean to begin travel by car, but поехать means is single directional, and поездить is multi-directional. Do we have these here in the table here? So, я поезжу. Yes, we do. We have поехать and поездить here. So I'm going to be a little lazy and just copy and paste these. Ты поездишь, он or она поездит, мы поездим, вы поездите. It's already filled in, and then они поездят. And then, okay, and here we have past tense. The three below this are past tense. So past tense are он поездил, она поездила, and они поездили. Okay. And, oh, I did the second one first. Okay, well, that's not too bad. And then the first one is поехать. So, я поеду, ты поедешь, Он or она поедет. Мы поедем is already there. Вы поедете, and они поедут. And past tense we have он поехал, она поехала, and они поехали. There we go. That was pretty straightforward. And I know I cheated a little bit by just copying and pasting, but I mean, how are you supposed to know? If either you know it or you don't. If you don't know, then you have to look it up in a table. So that's what I did. All right, exercise 5. So once again, more verbs of motion, but now we are doing this with приехать and поездить. So this is exactly what we had up here, except this is going on foot, and this is now about driving with wheeled transit, such as a car, bus, or train. And I believe these verbs are also used for horseback riding. If you're riding on a horse, I think they also use the same verbs, but mostly in our in our modern world, where horseback conveyance is rather the exception rather than the rule, that this mostly applies to transport by wheeled ground vehicles. So, завтра я поеду отдыхать за город. So, завтра, tomorrow, я поеду, I go отдыхать за город. I go to relax in the suburbs or outside of the city. Через месяц, a month from now, or in a month, or next month, мы something на море. So this is a one-time thing. We're doing it just once. So it should be приехать. And приехать, present tense is мы поедем. So мы поедем на море. We will leave to go to the sea, or to the ocean. Брат купил новую машину. Brother bought a new car. И мы немного something на ней по городу. And we a little bit something. So we rode a little bit around the city, and this sounds kind of like a joyride. So they didn't go anywhere specific. I mean, they went to the city, or maybe they were already in the city. But the point here is that they just drove. They drove around the city, like, not literally around the perimeter of the city, but driving around in the city, like having kind of a joyride in the city, not going to a specific place, just driving for the fun of it. So that would be мы, but it's past tense. So present or future tense would be поездим, but because it already happened, it's поездили, past tense. Немного поездили. We drove around a little bit in the city. Перед полетом. This is about Yuri Gagarin, who I believe was the first man in space. And this is I get it. This is a sort of a common legend. Well, it might be. Maybe it's not just a legend. Maybe it's just true. But it's kind of a legendary thing that people say about Gagarin. Перед полетом в космос, before flying into space, Gagarin said. Where is it? Поехали. Поехали is, it's conjugated as past tense, but my understanding is it's something like let's go. It's kind of like, hey, come on, let's go. Let's go. So he was enthusiastically saying, let's go into space. Okay. Мама, мы чуть-чуть something на твоей машине. Нет. Okay. Mom or mama, will we a little bit something in your car? No. I think again this means kind of driving around, so not specifically going somewhere with a goal in mind or a destination in mind, but just kind of taking a joyride in your car. Mom, can we take a joyride in your car? And mom says no. So this should then be мы поездит, which is мы поездим. Когда они something в Kaliningrad. So when they something in Kaliningrad, which is that exclave of Russia, which used to be Königsberg before World War II. It used to be a German city, and then after World War II, it went to Russia and is still a part of Russia, even though it's kind of an exclave now. It's kind of surrounded by Poland and Lithuania. But anyway, so this is saying either when are they going to Kaliningrad or when did they go to Kaliningrad. According to my reference, this should be поедут. So when are they going to Kaliningrad? Again, I don't know how you'd notice. I don't know how you're supposed to know that from the context here. This could just as easily be when did they go, in which case you'd use past tense. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Извините, а где Питер? Excuse me, where's Peter? Не знаю, по-моему, I don't know, по-моему, so, like, from me, or as far as I know, or in my opinion, on something домой. So, this should be поехать, because he's not walking around in multiple directions, he's going directly home, in my opinion. So, this should be past tense, поехать, он поехал. Because he already left. Somebody's asking, where's Peter? And I'm saying, I don't know, I think he already left to go home. So past tense, unidirectional. Этот путешественник много something по миру. So, этот путешественник means this traveler. Много means a lot, and then something по миру. So he traveled a lot around the world. And по миру is obviously, I don't think he just went in one single direction the whole time that he was traveling. He must have gone in several different directions. So it's multi-directional, and it's one person, so it's third person singular. Oh, but it's past tense. He's already done it. So it's past tense. Поездит, multi-directional. Past tense would be поездил. He поездил a lot по миру. Привет, ты something с нами на пикник в субботу? Hi, are you going with us to a picnic on Saturday? So, this is a one-time thing, so it should be поехать, and it's future, so here we take present tense as future tense, so it should be ты поедешь. Are you going with us to the picnic on Saturday? Наверное, probably не something, so probably not going. So it's поедешь, but now first person, so it's я поеду. Or in this case, не поеду. Наверное, не поеду. Probably not going. Скажите, tell, or tell me, or tell us. А кто вечера something на эту экскурсию? So, who, sorry, not, did I say вечера? А кто вчера, who yesterday went on this excursion. So this is past tense, and when you're asking who, then it's generally third person singular. So who, so it's поехал. А кто вечера поехал на эту экскурсию? Who went yesterday on this excursion? And then все кроме экскурсовода. Everyone but the tour guide. That's nice. So this is past tense plural because everyone went. So они поехали. Поехали все кроме экскурсовода. So everyone went except for the tour guide. That sounds like a not very successful tour, or the makings of a not very successful tour. Okay, now here again we fill in these verbs. The only difference is this time we're doing it for flying in an airplane. So this is полететь. The plane is the plane left to go on a specific trip. Полетать means that the plane left to just kind of screw around in the air and not go to a specific place. Maybe the plane just really felt like flying, like that guy who stole a plane and then said, I have no intention of landing it. So, полететь, so we can just take these from here again. Where's полететь? Here we go. So, я полечу, ты полетишь, он or она полетит. Мы полетим. Вы полетите, and они полетят. And then for past tense, we have он полетел, она полетела, and они полетели is already there. And then for полетат, we have я полетаю, but полетаешь is already there. Он or она полетает, мы полетаем, вы полетаете, они полетают. And then past tense is он полетал, она полетала, and они полетали. There we go. Fairly straightforward. I'm going to guess that you probably won't need to use most of these verbs very often in most of your life, even if you speak Russian quite a lot. So, here we go. Now it's time to study the table, once again, study the table of verbs of motion with the prefix ba and complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verbs полетит and полетат. Okay, so this is what we've already done twice before. We did it once for walking on foot. We did it once for traveling with wheeled transit. Now we are going to do it for flying in a plane. So, завтра я полечу за границу. So tomorrow I fly. За границу means basically, it literally means behind the border. In English you'd say abroad. And in German you'd say ins Ausland or in Ausland. So yeah, into another country. But yeah, in Russian you literally say behind the border, into another country. So, полечу is, as we can see here, a one-time thing, so it's полететь, and it's future, so we use here what they call present tense. Куда вы something этим летом? So, when are you going this summer? So this sounds like future tense, and it's a one-time thing, so it should be полетим. No, wait, sorry, it's вы, so it's полетите. One-time thing, future, вы. So, where are you flying to this summer? Мы никуда не something, потому что кризис и у нас нет денег. So, мы никуда не... So this is the same thing, except now it's мы, so it's полетим. Мы никуда не полетим. We are not flying anywhere, потому что кризис, because of crisis, и у нас нет денег, and we don't have any money. Everyday life in Russia. Смотри, птица. The bird. Oh, the bird flew. Okay, so this is past tense, and bird is feminine because it's птица, has an on the end, so it's a feminine verb. So past tense of one time. This is a one-time thing, saying that the bird flew. So it's полетела, right? Okay, actually, according to my reference, it's полетать, so the bird flew around. So, птица полетала и села на ветку. So, look, the bird flew around and landed on a branch. I don't know why полетала is repeated twice here. Is that to emphasize that the bird was doing it for a while, so not just flew around for a moment, but flew around for a relatively extended period of time? I'm not sure. Not quite sure I understand the meaning here, but that's okay. Well, it's not really okay, but let's not dwell on it too much because I don't think we'll have much to gain from doing so. Instead, let's move on to смотри, какой большой самолет something. So, look what a big airplane. I think this is past tense because, again, we're using verbs with ba on the beginning, so this can't be present. It can only be future or past, and it doesn't make sense to say, look what a big plane will fly. He's probably saying, he or she, the speaker is probably saying, look what a big plane flew. So past tense, самолет is masculine because it ends in a consonant. So let's say it's a one-time thing. Past tense. Полетел. Look what a big plane flew. Мои родители через месяц something в Minsk. So again, через месяц is in the future, and in this case it's они. So it's полететь because it's a one-time thing, and it's future они, so it's полетят. So, мои родители через месяц полетят в Минск. My parents next month fly to Minsk, or into Minsk. Robert, something в Лондон на следующей неделе. So, Robert flies into London in the next week. So this is future. Again, it's present or future, one-time thing, so it should be полетит. Robert полетит в Лондон на следующей неделе. Robert flies to London or into London in the next week. Я очень хочу хоть 2 минуты something на дельтаплане. Okay, deltaplanie is not I think it's not a common Russian word. It means hang glider. I assume the word comes from the triangle shape because, you know, the Greek word the Greek letter delta is a triangle. And so delta is often also used in English to mean a triangle shape. I am going to assume then that the Russian word deltaplanie is something like triangle plane, because again, hang gliders are triangle shaped. So I really want to fly for 2 minutes from a hang glider. I don't think most hang glider flights are just 2 minutes. Actually, I guess they might be, because yeah, when you're in a hang glider, often you just, you just kind of go down, like you jump from a hill or something and you go down, and it doesn't really take very long. So actually, I guess a hang glider flight might easily be over in 2 minutes or even less than 2 minutes. So, okay, maybe it makes sense. And since this is probably talking about not going anywhere specific, but just flying around on the hang glider with the goal of just having fun, I would say we use полетать and not полететь, because this is not a single destination in mind, but just flying around for fun. And because this is, the person is saying, normally it would be полетаю because it's я полетаю, but actually here the person is saying я хочу. So when you use a modal verb like I can or I want to, then you conjugate the хочу and then you use the infinitive form of the main verb. So in this case, we use the infinitive form полетать because it's being used with a modal verb хочу. So я очень хочу хоть 2 минуты полетать на дельтаплане. I really want to fly a hang glider for 2 minutes. I think that might be at least 2 minutes. I think this might not be saying for 2 minutes. I think this might be saying for at least 2 minutes, like more than 2 minutes. Not sure. But anyway. Извините, вы не знаете, куда something этот самолет через час? Excuse me, you this literally says you don't know, but it's kind of like you wouldn't happen to know. Куда flies this airplane через час, in an hour? So, excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know where this plane flies in an hour. Excuse me, sorry. So this is obviously future tense, and I'm going to say it's полететь because the plane is flying with a specific destination in mind and not just flying around for fun. And plane is singular, third person, so it should be полетит. There we go. All right. And now we have swimming, and yeah, so we basically do the same thing for swimming, and then we have a cool down exercise at the end. So we're getting close to the end. I know this has been going on for a while, but let's tough it out. We're almost there. So поплыть and поплавать. difference between these is this is poplit is single direction of motion, poplovat is multi-direction of motion, and this is about beginning to swim, going on a swimming motion. So, poplit is, here we have я попливу, ты попливешь, он or она попливет, мы попливем, вы попливете, and они попливут. Он поплыл, она поплыла, and они поплыли. Again, I do not think that you need to memorize this at this point in time. I think you probably should not endeavor to memorize these tables of different conjugations for poplit and поплывать just yet. Я поплываю, ты поплываешь. Unless you really want to. If you really want to memorize these, then have fun. But I think most people won't want to, and I can't say I blame them. Он or она поплывает, мы поплываем, вы поплываете, and они поплывают is already here, as is on поплывал, and then the other two past tenses are она поплывала and они поплывали. There we go, all done. All right, one last time, let's fill in these blanks for poplit and poplovat, and then we can do this, we can listen to this thing here and answer a very short quiz at the end. We're almost there, folks. Завтра я поплыву в круиз по Волге. So, завтра, tomorrow, I поплыву on into a cruise around the Volga River. The Volga River being, of course, probably the most important and famous river in Russia. So here it's поплыву because, let's see, I guess because it's a one-time thing. Yeah, he's not doing it regularly. He's just going as a one-time thing going on this cruise. So. And let's not forget, the pictures show someone swimming, but if you go on a cruise ship, that's also поплыву, or it uses the same verbs. So the same verbs for swimming are used for being on a ship or a boat or something that goes on the water like that. Сейчас зима. Now it is winter. А летом мы something на яхте по Средиземному морю. So, now it's winter, but summer we boat on a yacht around the Mediterranean Sea. Sredizemnomu. Sredi is like middle or in the middle of, and then Zemnomu is kind of like land. So it's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, Mediterranean literally means, from Latin, it's like terra is land and medi is in the middle of. It's like the land in the middle of the world or in the middle of the earth. So this is a pretty direct Russian translation of middle of the earth. So, so this is something happening as a one-time thing, I believe. Yeah, they're saying in summer they'll go on a yacht. So, and it's future and it's мы. So it should be мы sorry, this is for multi-directional as a regular thing, but this is unidirectional, so it's поплывем. Мы поплывем. Дети недолго something в реке и пошли за город. Children недолго, not for a long time. Children not for a long time. Okay, пошли means this is past tense. So children not for a long time swam in a river and went за город sunbathing. So this is past tense, они, one-time thing. So it should be поплыли. Дети недолго... wait. That doesn't seem to be right. Oh, probably because they swam around. I think the point here is that they didn't have one specific destination in mind. They swam around in the river. So this is actually not single direction of motion. It's multi-direction of motion after all. So it's on the poplavali. Right. They swam around in the river and then went to sunbathe. Мой друг через несколько недель. So my friend через несколько недель, in a few weeks or after a few weeks, swims into Antarctica on an expedition. Okay, so obviously, he's not going to swim into Antarctica, but he's using the same verb, sails into Antarctica. So this is obviously a one-time thing, and my friend is probably a guy. Yeah, it must be a guy because they would have used подруга if it was a woman. So one-time thing is поплыть, and then it's он or она поплывет for future tense. So, my friend in a few weeks sails to Antarctica on an expedition. Okay. Смотри, куда он something, туда нельзя. So, смотри means look, куда он... I believe this is past tense again. This is saying look where he swam. So it's a one-time thing. Поплыть on past tense поплыл. Смотри, куда он поплыл. Туда нельзя. Туда means like to there or into there, and then нельзя means forbidden. So it's like it's not allowed to swim into there. Какие у вас планы на отпуск? What you have plans for vacation? So what are your vacation plans? Мы с друзьями, so we with friends, something на байдарках летом. I believe this is a kayak. So, okay, so we're going, you use the verb here for swimming, like swimming or sailing on a kayak, but you don't really sail on a kayak. In English, you just say kayaking, but in Russian, you say verb for swim, not байдарок. That apparently means to go kayaking. So, мы с друзьями. So it's мы, I guess. So we'd use мы. And it's a one-time thing. So then it should be поплывем, if I'm not mistaken. Single verb of motion or single direction of motion. Мы, future. Okay. So yeah. So what are your plans for vacation? I'm going kayaking with friends in summer. Mama, можно я чуть-чуть something? Да, но только чуть-чуть. So, Mom, may I a little bit verb? Yes, but only a little bit. So, Mom, may I go sailing on a cruise ship? Yes, but only a little bit. It's probably swimming. They probably mean swim here and not sail on a ship. So, я one-time thing поплыву. Right? Oh, no, it's поплываю because, okay, so the person's asking if I can swim around, not going to any specific place, but just swimming around for fun. So it's multi-directional, so it's поплываю. Колумб думал, this is talking about Christopher Columbus. So Колумб думал, Columbus thought, что он something в Индию. So Columbus thought that he swam to India or sailed to India. That is probably a one-time thing, but it's in the past, so it's поплыл. Колумб думал, что он поплыл в Индию. He thought that he sailed to India. Где они? Where are they? Я их не вижу. I don't see them. Они something на остров. They sailed to the island or swam to the island. So this is past tense. They did it as a one-time thing. They swam to the island and not swam around the island. So it's Она поплыли на остров. They swam to the island. And finally, этим летом, this summer, я хочу, I want, something в кругосветное путешествие. Okay. Krug is like a circle, and krugosvetnoye in this case means like global, referring to the whole world as a globe or a ball, talking about the globe. And then puteshestvие is travel, so this is saying this summer I want to go on a world tour, worldwide trip. So it's ya. It's a one-time thing, so it's poplit, and it's future, so it's ya poplivu. Oh, no. Again, я хочу, because there is a modal verb here saying я хочу, I want to sail. You don't use the conjugated form of sail. You conjugate хочу, and then you use the infinitive, which is poplit. There we go. Now it makes sense. All right. And after all that work, now we can relax a little bit with a nice story.
Теплоход «Академик Павлов» плыл в Индийском океане. Был сильный ветер, и один матрос, которого звали Валерий, почувствовал себя плохо. Он пошел к врачу. Врач посоветовал ему отдохнуть и выпить таблетку. На теплоходе был обед, и вся команда пошла в столовую. Но Валерий не пошел туда, а пошел на палубу подышать свежим воздухом. В это время огромная волна накрыла теплоход и смыла матроса в море. Теплоход был еще близко, и матрос поплыл за ним. Через некоторое время матрос увидел огромных рыб, которые плавали вокруг него. Это были акулы. Он знал, что акулы – рыбы осторожные. Если человек не делает резких движений, то акулы не нападают на него. Валерий поплыл медленно и осторожно. Акулы тоже поплыли рядом с ним. Когда на теплоходе узнали, что Валерий упал в море, теплоход немедленно поплыл обратно. И еще 12 кораблей поплыли туда. Они услышали сигнал СОС с русского корабля. Через 4 часа команда увидела в море человека. Вокруг него плавали акулы. Его подняли на борт. Он был спасен. Это был уникальный случай, когда человек 4 часа плыл в кольце акул.
I wonder if this is a true story. I assume it probably is. I'm not going to look it up now and find out, but it sounds like a true story. So let's... this is actually rather difficult. The story is more difficult than I thought it would be, but let's go ahead and go through it.
Теплоход «Академик Павлов» плыл в Индийском океане.
So, past tense, the boat blil. This is, so the word here is blil. So, the ship Academic Pavlov, Academic Paul, sailed in the Indian Ocean.
Был сильный ветер, и один матрос, которого звали Валерий, почувствовал себя плохо.
There was a strong wind, and one sailor, who's named Valery, felt sick.
Он пошел к врачу.
Он пошел к врачу. He went to go to the doctor.
Врач посоветовал ему отдохнуть и выпить таблетку.
The doctor told him rest and take tablets.
На теплоходе был обед, и вся команда пошла в столовую.
So on the boat was lunch, and all sailors went to the stolovaya, like to the cafeteria. So hold on. И вся команда пошла. Пошла в столовую. So all commanders, I guess, went to the cafeteria.
Но Валерий не пошел туда, а пошел на палубу подышать свежим воздухом.
Okay. Но Валерий не не пошел туда, а пошел на палубу подышать свежим воздухом. So, but Valery didn't go into there, but rather he went onto the deck to get some fresh air.
В это время огромная волна накрыла теплоход и смыла матроса в море.
So, at this time, a huge wave covered the ship and washed all the sailors to sea, or washed them all into the ocean.
Теплоход был еще близко, и матрос поплыл за ним.
So, и матрос поплыл за ним. The ship was still близко, so nearby, and the sailors swam after it, or to it.
Через некоторое время матрос увидел огромных рыб, которые плавали вокруг него.
So after a little while, the sailor saw a huge fish swimming around him, которые плавали вокруг него. Huge fish swimming, I guess sharks. Here it just says rib, which just means fish, but from the picture it's pretty apparent that they mean sharks specifically.
Это были акулы.
Это были акулы. Oh, akuli is sharks. Okay, so they were sharks. Well, yeah, I mean, you could have just said sharks, but okay.
Он знал, что акулы – рыбы осторожные.
He knew that. It's interesting. I didn't know that. He knew that sharks are careful fish, or cautious fish.
Если человек не делает резких движений, то акулы не нападают на него.
So if the person does not make any sudden movements, then sharks don't attack him. That's interesting. Is that really true? I didn't realize that.
Валерий поплыл медленно и осторожно.
So Валерий поплыл медленно и осторожно. So Valery swam slowly and carefully.
Акулы тоже поплыли рядом с ним.
Акулы тоже поплыли рядом с ним. The sharks also swam close to him.
Когда на теплоходе узнали, что Валерий упал в море, теплоход немедленно поплыл обратно.
Man, this lady's speaking fast. Okay, so немедленно поплыл, I believe is the word here. So when the ship found out that Valery fell into the ocean, the ship immediately sailed back.
И еще 12 кораблей поплыли туда.
Еще 12 кораблей поплыли. Wait, what? I think this is wrong. I think I must have made a mistake somewhere. Okay, and also 12 other ships also sailed to there.
Они услышали сигнал СОС с русского корабля.
They they heard the signal SOS from the, or with the Russian ship.
Через 4 часа команда увидела в море человека.
After 4 hours, the commanders saw in the sea a person.
Вокруг него плавали акулы.
Вокруг него плавали акулы. So around him swam sharks.
Его подняли на борт. Он был спасен.
So его подняли на борт. He was pulled on board. Он был спасен. He was rescued.
Это был уникальный случай, когда человек 4 часа плыл в кольце акул.
Yes. So it was a unique incident when a person for 4 hours плыл в кольце акул, swam in a ring of sharks. Okay. I made a mistake somewhere here, so let me see. Where was my mistake now? Okay, I think the beginning here looks correct anyway, unless I missed something here. Here's my mistake. Валерий поплыли. No, not поплыли. I think this should be плавали. And then, wait, hold on, what? No. Валерий поплыл. Валерий поплыл, and okay, Валерий поплыл, that is correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, акулы поплыли, because it's plural. Okay, and this is поплыл. And that should be then. This is поплыли. There we go. Now it's correct. Okay, that was actually kind of stressful. That was not as relaxing as I thought it would be. That was not a relaxing cool-down exercise. And now at the end we have a quiz with 4 questions. Okay, let's hope we can do this. And oh boy, it's still more forms of the verbs about swimming. This is actually quite stressful. Okay. Теплоход something в Индийском океане. So the ship плыл, was sailing in the Indian Ocean, or sailed in the Indian Ocean. Матросу стало плохо. The sailor felt sick. И он, and he went to the doctor, that is пошел. Когда матрос увидел акул, so when the sailor saw the sharks, he поплыл медленно, he swam slowly. And finally, Валерий 4 часа, so he was 4 hours, плыл в кольце акул, so he swam for 4 hours in the shark ring. There we go. That was lesson 32. My goodness, that was a stressful lesson. That was not. That was more intense than I was expecting it to be. And all of that to basically just say that the prefix "b" marks the beginning of movement. It's tacked on the beginning of a verb to indicate the beginning of movement using that verb. That was basically the whole point of this lesson. Wow, that was a lot. I don't even know what to say at this point. I think I just need to take a rest. So if you actually sat through all of that, thanks everyone. Thank you for coming with me on this wonderful journey of discovery about the prefix ba. I will go ahead and sign off now, and I'll talk to you folks later. Until next time, everyone, ba-ba.